look at this mountain traffic jam I find myself in. There must be a dozen friggin' turkeys in the road right now. This is nuts. I've literally never encountered that. But they are not moving either. Holy moly, this is pretty cool. Look at them, now they're on the run. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. There must be 14 turkeys. That is awesome. Who'da thunk? Welcome back to Tightlining, Maryland. I am in Central PA today. I have a family trip where we're visiting just some of our relatives, and we're going to go out to a fair and hopefully enjoy some time this evening. But for this morning and hopefully tomorrow morning as well, I should be able to hit 2 or 3 streams a day, maybe like for an hour and a half each, and just kind of zipping around because I want to fish some new water. The unfortunate part is that this small stream that I'm on today out in Central PA, usually this would probably run a lot different. I think the flows are good, but they're high for this tiny little stream. I mean, this is I don't know if it's a Class A, to be honest. I don't think it is. I think it's an approved wild trout stream, although I'm not officially sure if they stock, but I read about it in the Keystone fly fishing book and felt like I needed to pop in. So I'm gonna fish it for probably an hour. There's some stretches downstream that I can fish. If I go upstream, I start running into private property, which is pretty much the entire stream. So I'll probably only get to fish like a quarter or half mile, but again, want to be in and out, maybe catch a couple fish out of it, and then head to the next spot. But this is a completely new stream to me. I'll hit one today that's new, one tomorrow that's new, and the others I've fished at least once. But some really great Class A streams that I'm going to hit, since all the big water is still blown out from rains before Florence, and then, you know, once they got hit with more rain from that, you know, tropical storm remnants, it's not good up here. So the good news is these feeder streams are prime. Hopefully they're fishing well, and we'll be able to bring some fish to the camera today. So thanks for tuning back in, and I hope you enjoy. So I just hooked my 3rd fish. And this looks like the one that's actually gonna stay. We'll see. Tiniest one I've hooked too, which is great to get that one on film, as opposed to these more sizable ones. But he took a hare's ear. I don't quite know what the other ones took. My net currently caught to my belt clip, so that's great. Good start to the day thus far with that. So I'm gonna reach down and grab this guy. These fish are pretty. They remind me of one of the creeks I'm headed to tomorrow, because this is a limestone influenced creek, and I think typically those fish get a little bit prettier with the yellow and the pink. So we're gonna release him. That makes 3. Hopeful to get another 1 or 2 on camera here, but I didn't get skunked. The last one I just missed was probably about 12 inches, which my guess is for this stream, not being Class A and just a random wild stream, is pretty good. So pretty pleased with that. Hook 3, got 1. Running out of stream to fish though, because honestly, it gets way too fast down there. Doesn't look any good. And up there is private property. So I'm really confined to another 100 yards to hopefully get another fish or 3. So I'm gonna turn it off and put it back on if I get one. I'm trying to get a live hook set because I just feel like this bridge is too perfect to hold fish right now. Water is off color, it's dirty, it's slower than the other currents. I just feel like they're probably stacked up in here. And there's one to prove that theory. He's probably gonna come off because again, I didn't fix my net, but nice fish. Gotta wet your hands. Okay, so a little bit bigger than the last one, still pretty, and right in the top of that barbless hook, probably 7-8 inches, and there he goes. So that's 2. Probably keep the camera on because like I said, I mean, the spot right here that I'm at, it's likely to have more. So I'm gonna make sure my rig is right. So I've got a mop fly on, which is what I just caught that. The first one I got was on a hare's ear. You know, the mop is good for 2 different reasons. Number 1, it acts as like an imitation for a caddis pupa, if I'm not mistaken, and then it also acts as a great attractor fly. So that green in the water kind of like makes fish already looking up or around for what's coming down the pipeline, food, so, or for food. So anyway, I'm gonna keep trying that and see if they take the natural with the hare's ear, or see if they take the mop. Oh no, that was a nicer fish. Good news is we found them. And I tell you what, the bug life on this stream right now is great. Bad news is I'm in the trees with the bugs. That would be unique. Gotta get a little bit better drift. Get it up. There we go. That's gonna give us a good drift. Should yield a fish. Oh yeah, there's fish rising in here. That is pretty cool. 7 o'clock here on this water. We got some fish coming up, eating. There we go. He took the hare's ear. Woo! Lively. I like it. This one I'm going to try to get this net fixed though. Man, we have got bugs pouring off. And I still just do not have this net thing right. There we go. Now I got it. All right, good stuff. Took the hare's ear, got him right in the top of the lip. Hooks out. Gonna have to fix my rig because it's a little messed up, but hopefully it's manageable. Okay, another good one. Get him back in. Try to fix this rig. That is a mess. All right, well, I'm gonna turn off the camera while I try to get that fixed. All right, so I'm in the same spot. I had to retie, which is fine because honestly I felt like I could get down a little bit deeper. It gives me a little bit more separation between my two flies now. I'm probably more like 18 to 24 inches as opposed to the 16 I was at, but it was effective. I was catching them. But this hare's ear right here that hopefully is going to show up on camera is so easy to tie, and it's one in which I tie on a barbless jig hook, usually size 12 and 14. Really quick and simple. You know, I throw gold beads, some gold wire on it, and it just pops. And in a limestone influenced stream, which I believe this is, you're gonna see that it kind of acts almost like an imitation of a scud. So that's in the regular food diet for these fish. And 2 of the 3 fish that I've caught, and even some of the other ones that I've hooked, I felt like have gone for that hare's ear and not the mop, which is great. That's why you want to have both on. I got to figure out why my split shot is running all the way down my line, but I'll get that taken care of before I make my first cast. But anyway, I just figured I'd share that with you. Another thing while I'm trying to crimp this down and get everything in order to fish, the reason why I felt like this particular, not creek, but this spot, okay, so I'd already shown up to the creek. The water down here is running a little fast. Didn't quite feel all that great about it. So I said, you know, when I first got to this particular hole, I thought that there was going to be more fish, and I turned on the camera to try to, you know, get into them live because of the fact that it looked, given the high water conditions, given the fact that, you know, the river's running a little bit quicker than usual, this bridge provides refuge. There's slower water in it, so the fish don't have to expend much energy. So down here, they would have to really be fighting the current. And although I did hook a couple fish down that way, typically those are going to be your smaller ones. Your bigger ones are going to fight for this prime location, and they'll chase fish out. So not only do I have bugs pouring off, I've got a great spot. So, morning. Yeah, I've got 3 so far. That would have been 4. So I followed the advice of fishing this creek based off of the fly fishing, Keystone fly fishing suggestion, and I think I had a good day. I think I caught 4 fish, probably hooked about 7 or 8. But I got to a stretch where I was just above the bridge, and I was gonna start approaching, you know, water that paralleled somebody's property. So I felt as if, you know, if I saw them, I should ask, and if I didn't see them, I should get out. And, you know, it just so happened the person in the home happened to be walking out using their hose. And it's interesting because, you know, you read on the message boards and even in the book about people that, you know, as long as you're nice, you go up and ask politely, and you tell them you're just going to do catch and release, and, you know, be respectful of their property and kind of not leave a trace. I did all that, and there was no way they were having it. They just weren't interested in me trespassing, but I got to respect that, because if it were my property, I might be a little inclined to not want somebody on it as well. So disappointing, given that I know I would have treated it very, very respectfully. But you know, the other part is disappointing because there was some good lies in there, but it is what it is. So I might look for another stretch of this stream and see if there's anything else along the road. A lot of this stream is posted, and you know, no wonder I can't even get access to it without signs up. But if not, I'll head to the next stream, give that a whirl, and see how it goes. But a good start to the day, new stream, new fish, so I'm happy for what I got. But stay tuned, we'll see what comes up next. So I'm at the next stream. It is a tiny little Class A. I already saw I have a little, I wouldn't call it competition, because it's good to have other people out on the river with you, but they're definitely taking some stretches, one of which I actually liked and caught my best brook trout out of here with. But nevertheless, I wanted to show you just very quickly what the last setup was again. It is my usual, like, tag using, double surgeons knotted, you know, top fly smaller, bottom fly heavier. I was going mop fly and hare's ear. So I'm going to change that up, and in the blink of an eye with this mono rig, I can have a dry fly and a beaded nymph dropped off the bottom. I'm going to add a little bit of floating to it, hit it one time so that hopefully for the day it holds up. I'll dig through this real quick. It's good to have a bag with everything well equipped. Okay, so I think, although I'm not sure, this is a wolf fly, and I think it's got a foam body if I'm not mistaken, but got a nice little red underbelly, which you can probably see right there. It's got this nice hackle to it, and, you know, I'm gonna add a little bit up to here, that way the line floats a little bit if possible. And then underneath I want this to drop, so it's kind of like a dry dropper system. So should be pretty effective in here. You know, a stimulator is really all you need, but, you know, with the water running a little bit higher, maybe having a bit of both. Might even want the dropper a little lower, so we'll see if I have to add some tippet to maybe help myself out. But the reality is, you know, this Class A stream holds brook and brown trout in it, and you gotta sneak up. I know for a fact that this hole right here, I hooked into about an 11 or 12 inch fish. I think it was a brook trout, but all I did was simply hook it, and he was gone. As soon as he took a run, I set the hook and I popped it right out of his mouth. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna approach from the bottom here, that way I don't make any noise, or even from the top side of this, because I still may cast a shadow even though it's a little cloudy out. I'm gonna start down here. I might even, you know, hit to the far side of this stream, because I don't think there's any fish holding in here, so I'm not worried about it. And even if I did scare them, they're not going into this pool. But that pool right there, off of that rock and on both sides of that seam, there is going to be a fish in there. There's no question. It's just a matter of, can I get it? So let's walk down. I think that's gonna have to be the ticket. Give them some meat, put it on the bottom, and call it a day, because this dry fly stuff is not working right now. That was a nice fish. So I should have had on the camera because I think I just caught the prettiest brook trout I've ever gotten. He's sitting up in this seam right here, and you can see him in the net. I mean, a fat, pretty, vibrant brook trout. I'm gonna get out my pliers, even though it's barbless. He inhaled it, but whoo, that is gorgeous. Look at the white underneath of him, the orange. Alright, so we're gonna release this guy. Just an absolutely stunning, stunning fish. There he goes. That is awesome. So just to quickly say what I switched over to and I've missed the fish on and caught a fish on is a mop fly. It's a tan one. It's a little different than what I usually use. I have two different colors. Usually I tie the Camden's crane fly with this one, but the only one I had on me in the bag. I do have actually a couple in my pocket that I tied this morning to be green, but I'm gonna see if I can't try to get another one out of this very hole and then move up to the next one. But he was exactly where he's supposed to be, softer current, and he just hammered it. There's another one. So this one's much smaller, but that's okay. So still a brookie. There he goes. Woo! I might be able to get him again though. Holy moly. Oh, I hate having to flip a fish up on the bank, but that is as good as it is ever gonna get. And if I didn't do that, I would have been heartbroken to watch him go. So I apologize to all the purists that just watched me do that. But on a barbless hook with a fish that's as colored up as this guy, in my opinion, there was no other option if I wanted to net him. So, holy moly. I say that a lot because I usually want to say holy shit. Let's get this hook out. All right, that's out. Man, these fish are fat and healthy. Fat and healthy. There he goes. So I saw a very large brook trout. Could be brown trout. I mean, I don't know. I can't tell from that far away, but he may have saw me, but I didn't see him shoot up into the, excuse me, try not to, number one, fall, and number two, get eaten by rattlesnakes if they're in here. But in this pool right up here is just deep enough to hold some really great fish. And I am eagerly trying to get up to a point where I can sneak up behind and cast a line to one of these fish. So here I am trying to do that. I mean, there is a stud fish in there for this stream, there's no doubt. I saw it. I don't know if he was feeding or saw me at the top of the hill as I was trying to scout, but it is no less time to get this rig in the water and see if he'll take. but it's gonna be tough. He's got some places to run me into, and I could be in some trouble if he makes a good run. On top of the fact we're using barbless hooks, so as always, the chance it comes out. And I don't get great hook sets right now in this stream with the way that I've had to angle cast. So here we go. He's up there eating. Either that or I hooked him and didn't realize it. There he is. I don't think that's the one I saw. The one I saw was a lot bigger than that. But still a nice fish. And out he goes. And I'm left with the remnants. So I'm gonna try again. Up. Got another one. Again, still I don't think is the one I saw, but a fish. And another brookie to the net. There he goes. Get out of here. Alright, I'm going to turn this off because I know I'm running close to the end of film, but if I get into a good one, I'll put it on for you. The prime lie up ahead, some rhododendron overhanging, nice deeper current just off the main stem. Should be a nice brookie in there, although I think I just saw him swim in underneath of it, so probably just scared him. There's my cast. Not the best drift. There we go, that's good. There we go. Rewarded with a fish, a nice brook trout. Not as big as I'd hoped, but we'll take it.